The year is 1995, and Doom has already set itself in stone in the FPS genre, sparking classics such as Heretic, Strife, and Chex Quest. Then along came Descent. It's a first-person shooter, but it's nothing like Doom in the sense of perspective. Descent allows for 6 degrees of freedom, meaning you can move a whole lot more than you could before. You pilot a ship going through several mines, blowing up robots and rescuing hostages hidden around the map. Descent really expanded the FPS genre in many ways. With the addition of height and depth, map layouts could be taken much further and have far more complexity. But more on that in a bit. The story to Descent, or the little amount of story there is told through the opening cinematic. The player is hired by PTMC, or Post-Terran Mining Corporation, to take out virus-infected robots used in off-world mining operations. You play throughout the solar system outwards from Earth, ending on Pluto where you fight the final and very difficult boss. That's another thing, Descent is very hard. Coming from Doom, you might choose a difficulty like Hotshot, and you might be right in your decision, but once you get to level 6 and so on, prepare for a good fight. Now when I play new shooter games, I always start on the lowest difficulty until I get more comfortable with the game's controls and such. Descent came from that era when games didn't care whether the player won or lost. The nice thing is that when you die, you respawn and lose a life, and you're allowed to go back and get the items you dropped when you died. Sometimes when you're playing a difficult map, especially when there are a lot of homing missiles and little health pickups, it's best to just die instead of trying to fight it out. Now the complexity of the maps range from fairly easy to straight up labyrinthic. The game comes with its own wireframe auto map, which can help, but only to a certain extent as you need to locate where you need to go based off of white lines. However, I can't complain too much because of the limitations the game has. Descent has the classic FPS mechanic. Blue key, yellow key, red key, escape, you know. Once you get the red key and locate the reactor, you shoot at it until a self-destruct sequence is initiated. In the little amount of time you have, you must find the exit and escape. It's usually a good idea to find where the exit is before you blow up the reactor, but it's much better in Descent 2 with the addition of a guide bot. Every time you complete a level, you get this nice cinematic of the ship flying through a tunnel and having the walls explode around you. I love this part. I cannot stress that enough. Descent has a wide variety of weapons and missiles to choose from throughout your playthrough. There's the starter laser, which can be upgraded 4 times and have a quad laser boost, the fusion cannon, which is the BFG 9000 of Descent, the Vulcan cannon, and a few others. For missiles, you have the most basic type, the concussion missile, which just fires in a straight line, the homing missile, which is pretty straightforward, the smart missile, and then the mega missile, which deals a huge amount of damage but has their own unique explosion. Descent is like Doom or Duke Nukem. The soundtracks are catchy and are fairly decent. It doesn't sound as clear as Doom's soundtrack, but you can get improved sound quality with a different sound font, such as the Roland SC55. Now my personal favorite track is from level 8. It doesn't sound too shabby when it's on the ad-lib sound font, but it sounds so much better on the SC55. Take a listen. Descent is also very similar to Doom with the alert sounds. Like for Doom, you knew when you alerted an imp or a cacodeme. Same applies with Descent. Each robot makes a distinct sound, but the one you will hate the most sounds like a digitized power drill, the Vulcan robots. Once you hear it, it's best to just run, or in this case, fly. Now trying to pilot a ship on keyboard sounds really bad, but the controls get a lot more fluid once you find that optimal key layout. I love the controls of Descent, and I know I'm saying I love in all keyboard game, and honestly, it's true, I love them. Even with Doom and Doom 2, I beat both games in DOS with the keyboard before I found out about mouse turning, and it didn't bother me. Now that may just be my preference, but once I found out that Descent can be controlled with a mouse, it was so much easier to fly and turn. Be careful when flying around. Descent may make you nauseous, and I'm being serious, this game can actually make you sick. So if you do have that weak stomach, try to play it for a short amount of time each session. For me, I didn't have that problem, so it wasn't too bad. Though I did get lost quite a bit. What can I say, it's the maze-like layout. So for $10, is this game really worth it? Yes and no. No, because I don't think this game is really for everyone, especially people who don't like FPSs or difficult games, but Descent really isn't that hard. It just might kick your ass a few times. Yes, because it's just like Doom. It came from that sweet FPS era, and if you really enjoy classic first-person shooters, then I think this game is perfect for you. If you have $10 to spare, go ahead, try it. If you don't like it, return it. So keep in mind, this game kicks ass. Really, I mean it. Till next time, thanks for watching.